in education news, Congressman Vicente Gonzalez has announced over $170 million in revised Title I allocations for South Texas schools.
The Kingsville ISD is one of those districts receiving these funds. In fact, they are getting a $2 million allocation. 3 News reporter Natalia Osuna spoke with the congressman and district leaders and is here now live to explain how this support is going to help. Natalia?
Mike, Leslie, Kingsville ISD is currently facing a $4 million operating budget deficit. I spoke with district leaders who tell me this is due to factors like inflation and declining enrollment, making their $2 million allocation even more impactful. And aside from the Title I allocations, Kingsville ISD leaders tell me they're working on potential solutions to help fill the gap. One of these is a voter approval tax ratification election. District leaders say this would not mean an increase in taxes, but instead a decrease in interest and debt. They say this could potentially help provide funds for maintenance and operations, paying things like teacher salaries, textbooks, and school buses. Congressman Vicente Gonzalez says securing this year's Title I funding for South Texas schools was far from easy.
It just came every year. But this last cycle, it was a hard fought battle. It actually passed out of a subcommittee to cut Title I funding from public schools across the country.
But despite the challenges, Congressman Gonzalez helped secure $170 million in Title I allocations for South Texas schools. One of those is Kingsville ISD. Superintendent Dr. Luz Martinez says the $2 million they're receiving will help with their budget deficit.
Due to declining enrollment and some mandates that have come, unfunded mandates that have come from TA, and also the inflation rates, we are facing a budget deficit of $4.2 million.
Dr. Martinez says any funding helps. She tells me the funding will go to 3 key priorities: an increase in tutoring outside of the classroom, technology, and teacher salaries. And many educators are also concerned about President Trump's executive order aimed at dismantling the Department of Education. This has some wondering if school districts like Kingsville ISD will continue receiving these Title I allocations next year. Leslie, Mike, back to you.